Okay, starting our new unit, and it's on loops. It's actually not a new unit, it's the same unit as if statements. And again, I just created a new application. Now there are 3 loops we're going to be talking about. I'm going to go ahead and start deleting stuff here that I don't need. We're going to talk about, and it's a lot, so this will probably take several videos to cover the entire topic. So again, make sure you always put your heading on top, author, date, and then something about this program. This program will blah 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 blah. Okay, so let's get started with loops. Okay, and as I get things set up here. Okay, so there are 3 loops, actually 4 loops, but the 4th one we're going to learn a little bit later when we get into arrays and array lists, and it's called a for each loop. But the 3 loops are basically the same 3 loops we had in Visual Basic, and for those that came from Androids, it's the exact same 3 loops we went over. And that's the while loop, the do while loop, and the for loop. Okay, and we're going to just concentrate on the while loop today, and probably one video per loop. Okay, so again, when we start talking about loops, I'm just creating some variables that have no meaning. There's 3 parts to a loop, and first of all, the structure of a while loop takes the form like that and has a begin and end, and you need a begin and end with a while loop. And for loop, you actually don't need a begin and end if it's only one statement, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But a while loop, you need a begin and end symbol. Okay, this is begin and this is the end symbol down here. Okay, and all the code goes between the begin and end for this loop. And again, notice everything's tabbed nice. And again, I want to tab in here as well. But there's 3 parts to a loop. The first part is we need a variable to initialize a starting point, and we call this priming the loop. Okay, we need to give a variable a value. So we're going to start int age at 0. Somewhere in the loop, and basically with a while loop, it's right here, you have a condition that terminates the loop. And we're going to go while int age is less than or equal to 5. Okay. And then inside your loop, you need something to increment or decrement. You need to increase int age by 1 or whatever value, and somewhere int age has to increase so it gets bigger than 5. And the way this works, this will keep looping as long as int age is less than or equal to 5. Once int age becomes 6, this will jump out of the loop. Okay. So let's just mess around with this. And I'm going to put by, just to show you that this is outside the loop, and we're going to put the value of int age. Okay, and again I end in semicolons, and let's hope everything is correct. So this loop, we started int age, we initialize this to 0. That's the initialization portion of what we call priming a loop. We terminate the loop by this condition here. Okay, as long as int age is less than or equal to 5, it's going to keep going, repeating this code over and over again. And we have an increment decrement statement right here. We increment by 1. Remember, plus plus adds 1 to int age. So let's go ahead and run this. Process is complete, and we say by 6. Okay. So by 6, that means on the 6th time when int age is 6, 6 is not less than or equal to 5, so it jumps out and it comes down here and prints out this statement here. Okay, just to prove that this is looping, let's just go int age. And here it'll print each and every time through this loop. Okay. And notice it went through 1 through 6, and then output 6 here. Okay, int age gets increased right here to 6 once we leave it, and it outputs 6 here. Okay. Now again, this keeps repeating this code over and over again until this condition becomes false. Okay. Again, we talked about the 3 parts of a loop. This is also known as a counter. Okay. Somewhere we keep count on how many times we went through a loop, and a counter always takes the form as a memory location equals the same memory location plus some type of constant. Okay, plus or minus, let's put it that way. I'll just put slash minus. Plus or minus a constant. Okay, because you can have a loop that counts up or a loop that counts down. Okay, so this is known as a counter. Okay, let's do some. You can also have where the user types in something to stop that loop. Okay, so let's bring in a scanner class. You remember we need java.util, and we go scanner console equals new scanner system dot in. Okay, and let's say we're going to have the user input its age, and we want them to input their age. Well, int age not equal to, let's say, 16. Okay, so we're going to have them input their age, and we're going to count their age. We're going to actually create a counter. We're going to count how many times they input their age. Okay, I know it doesn't make sense, but we're going to do it anyways. So we're going to go system dot out dot print line, and we're going to put please input age. Got to prompt the user, and then we're going to go ahead and put int age equals console dot next, and since we're looking for an integer, it's next int method, if you remember that. Hopefully you do. And we're going to take their input and we're going to check against 16. If it's not 16, well, int age is not equal to 16, count that, and we're going to repeat the process. Okay, so that means we have to prompt them again. Okay, so this is where we initialize priming and loop. We gotta give int age a value, and we check that value, make sure it's not equal to 16, and the spacing's a little bit messed up here, and we check to make sure it's not 16. If it's not 16, we count it, and then we prompt them again. And this can keep looping, and this is called a variable loop because it varies. I might input 5 ages, I might input 10 ages, it doesn't matter. Let's run this. Let's hope I don't have any errors. It's counter plus plus didn't like. Let's come down here. Well, counter may not have been initialized, okay? And what they're saying is I declared it, but I haven't given it a value, okay? So it's always good to initialize your variables at the very beginning, even if it's 0, okay? Okay, so let's run that again. That should resolve the problem. Okay, input age, and I'm going to input 5, input age 7, input age 8, input age is 16, okay? By 16. Now should output, we output the age, that's why it's 16. Let's output counter, okay, and run this again. input age. Let's go again, 5, 6, 7, and then 16. And I said bye, and I inputted 3 ages. 16, I didn't count 16 because that's when we wanted to stop. Okay, by putting the counter first, doesn't count to 16 because we input 16 here, then it comes up and checks it, and since it was false, we jumped out and we go ahead and output the answer right there. So that's why that didn't happen there. So that's why we didn't count 16. So make sure it's always important where you put your counter. We also have what we call an accumulator. And accumulator, let's say, I'll just put sum equals 0. And the accumulator is, maybe we want to total our I should put it wrong there. Accumulator is similar to a counter. You take the memory location equal to itself plus an input variable like int age. Let's say we're going to add up all the ages. Okay, this is an accumulator. It's very similar because it's a memory location equal to itself, just like a counter is. A counter is plus or minus a constant, whereas accumulator is always added to what's ever being input. So if you could think of me totaling a group of test scores, okay, that will be an accumulator. If I'm counting how many test scores I inputted, that will be the counter. Okay, so that's the accumulator. Okay, so let's go ahead and output, we call this sum. Okay, so we output the counter and the sum. And let's go ahead and run the file. And good, process complete, no errors. Input age 5, 6, 7, 16. Okay. 5 and 6 is 11, plus 7 is 18, so 3 and 18. We inputted 3 ages. 18. Now usually we don't use number 16. We usually use numbers like -999. Okay, input age until -999 to quit. Okay, or -1. Usually you pick a number outside the range. So if I'm inputting the test scores, my range for test scores 0 to 100, I want to pick a value outside that range to shut the loop down. So -999. Okay, we call this a sentinel value or a flag. Okay, this is called a sentinel value. And with a sentinel value, or what we call a flag, it's usually -999 or -1. Or if you're working with strings, you could use the word quit. Okay, if you're working with strings. Okay, we didn't talk about strings yet. That's the next chapter. But these are the 3 common sentinel values you would use. So we go ahead and input, while int age does not equal -999, go ahead and count it and sum it. Okay, and then we'll input the age here, and if it's a valid age, it'll count it and sum it. If it's a valid age, this will check to see if it's valid every time we loop around, and it'll keep doing something like that. Okay, this will work better if I did scores. Okay, I'm wrapping up here. My 15 minutes are about over. Did cover 3 parts of the loop. Initialization. We did talk about terminating condition, increase in decrementing. We talked about counters, accumulators, and sentinel values known as flags. Next chapter we'll talk about for loops. And don't forget, we talked about counter plus. Remember, I could also do plus counter and get the same results. Okay, because it adds 1. This is a pre-increment. The last one was a post-increment. Have a nice day and continue programming. If you have any questions, please email me or see me in class, or there's a lot of tutorials out there either on YouTube or Google, or see a fellow classmate. Have a nice day.